Hey, Captain Crunch here, aka The Fits. Home waiting on my ride to go and get me some drinkable water. I just washed out my hair right quick. Let it dry on this towel right here. A little bit. 5 gallons empty. Little mix up at the bank. How's it happen? Quick deposit. Oh, sir, your card's ready. Okay, give me that deposit back. Alright, got the card. Okay, I'll put that on there since I got the card. Give me this $20 because I need some bus change. How does that get mixed up to the point where it seems like I withdrew money that wasn't even available on the account to withdraw at the teller as the initial transaction? And then it becomes so much of a back and forth trying to correct it. Anyway, y'all work on that whilst the internet down. Perk my creativity since there's nothing really to watch, do. So let's see what this sounds like today. Behind it all, who, what, I don't know. But if I was to take a not so wild guess, it'd probably be somebody that figured Martin Luther King's speech probably should have started. He had a dream. The little white boys and little white boys would be able to drink nuts in the comfort of their wherever the frick. Anyway. For y'all that don't know, use that little bit of creative thought that y'all sometimes be inspired to do, and you can figure out what drinking nuts means. It sure seems like one of them nut drinkers is probably responsible for all the mess. That's some wild shit, eh? Buying car gets stolen, you go to the police and they say, no, we don't we don't deal with that. We don't help with issues like that. Okay. Way to go, guys. I have to dispose of my old phones just in case. You never really know. Strange activity. You log into your old phones and then save your login information. And when you're out, the master computer hackers probably walking around looking all oafy, looking like they might be ditzy or however stupid or retarded, incapable of being master computer geniuses. Patch themselves into your phone somehow, get your info. So I only got 2 set of ears. I only really got 1 mouth. So I only need 1 phone. I used to keep them other ones mainly just for backup, since sometimes stuff just used to go haywire. But I just actually toasted 4 phones. Old Alcatel, old Motorola, old iPhone I got a couple of years back. Decided to try me a little iPhone. A little Japanese universal, looking for an Asian kind of universal kind of phone that I actually never really used. Nice setup. It's like one of them iPhone 13 Pros or something like that. Just I guess knockoff version. I didn't use it because it worked just like the iPhones. Hardly any battery time, which is to me the big glitch. If I'm gonna be out like how I was out on the boat at the time, all day, with everybody seeming to have the same phone, plugging in and out, I don't need to feel like I gotta keep my phone on charge all day. I want to keep it on me all day, playing music, whether it's on my earbuds or people listening to it on the thing, which never really happened, but still. I like the fact these Samsungs and some of these other iPhones, the battery will last more than a day, playing music or not, off a full charge. So, what to do? I read my Bible a little bit earlier. I was always catching a little reset in the sun. You know, your boy got fumed a little bit. Ran out to the store on the way back. You know those fumigators happened to catch me on the path coming back home with the bleachy kind of smelling fumes. You know when it hits you because you feel it all in your neck and stuff like that, like tightening up the nerve agents they have inside of it. It ain't the hand sanitizer. Sometimes they'll put it like in painting products, other cleaning products, and act like they got something to paint in your neighborhood. And that stuff will travel far too. But here it's been in the bleach. Now, whether it's been in the bleach from the factory or somebody in the stores specifically has been loading up the bleach with that, whatever the hell it is, anti-sleep stuff. You know, these haters all full of their craftiness, bitchcraft and stuff. We will make them like us, or we will make them suffer. I guess that's their motto, some of them. Watch what you eat. Actually, hair feels really fresh and tingly. By the way, I rarely use regular shampoo with my hair. Used to. When you're frugal and stuff like that, and they ain't got necessarily always got shampoo money, what I find works is dish detergent, especially that degreaser stuff. Really good to clean your scalp and stuff out. And then whatever grease and stuff you usually put in. Yes, this is still not a haircut for 10, 12 years after half of it mysteriously, seemingly disappeared. Probably, 3 years or so ago. Woke up and half my hair was like trimmed short, evenly short. Yeah, same person. Alright. What do you think? What was the plan? Everybody knew this place was how it was, and nobody wanted to come out and say how it actually really was, like directly and plainly, for those who need to hear it directly and plainly, as in like not a joking way. That things was the way it was. Here, there, wherever. Kudos to y'all for spiting your own face. And I guess some of us didn't need to understand before we have to spite our own face or cut off our nose. Mine's broken. I still didn't get the picture until not too long ago. Choose your friends wisely. You don't want to be around those nut drinkers that happy and ecstatic about running and jumping off of cliffs and stuff. It's like they never heard or seen vagina before. Or maybe no, God possibly banned them from it biologically. Geographically, however, seeing folks just get glitching when they realize God ain't with they program or they pentagram. We know he wasn't definitely with the pentagram for starters. But since they want to push their goats, aka program, it was written. So Find comfort in knowing it was written if you know what you was reading in them words. In the meantime, whilst I'm waiting on the internet to, I don't know, get turned back on, reset or whatever, it went off like a week or so. Usually when it comes back on, it's on for a few months at a time. So I'm thinking it's probably something going on with the company more than maybe just the box here need to reset or something. And whilst I am able to do my internet telemarketing or even do my little course online I actually started doing a couple of weeks ago, or watch anything, do anything. Maybe this is how somebody feels they get free information. Free information? No, I want my monetization too, which I have not ever gotten. And why is it these people seem to be trying to orchestrate a song to suggest? I already know they haven't been closing out my old bank accounts, I guess, when I asked them to close it. And I didn't know it until I went back and, like I said, opened another account, and they offered to reopen an old account, which to me seems strange because if you close an account, I figure it's supposed to be closed, done totally, and not able to open, maybe wiped off the record or something like that. Not possibly having people sitting there on your accounts, maybe even issuing cards to themselves. The place really that bad? Or they're just bad against me? I was thinking it was kind of just me for a while, but when you're in a situation or a place where it's hard to get to talk to people who you trust or semi-trust sometimes to find out certain things, it could be difficult trying to find your way without God. But if He have me, quote unquote, put and not knowing what to do, because I know how when I know what to do, I mean, I usually go ahead and do it, try and do it. To, maybe it's just, I keep thinking maybe it's more of a sporting thing. I've never been someone that technically couldn't. There's always a way. Just how much I want to do it. I would probably try and figure out if the alphabets wasn't helping or couldn't help, what could have possibly caused all of them to not care about one of the people who probably cared the most about everything and everyone. So, as people get to thinking, there's a bigger, deeper problem. And then the spirituality kicks in. And little creepy crawlies are around there doing a bunch of nut drinkery for truth. Wow. Them days. You either accept they nut drinkery or have trouble buying and selling. I'm wondering how I didn't know I deposit money on my account. Order a pizza, say $25. Pay for a police record, $5. Buy breakfast, maybe $6 or $7. Attempt to top up a phone, $5, and no cash. Yeah, I knew something was wrong. And then right before the weekend, go in there to find out the woman did not add the deposit. It wasn't like it was a whole lot, $100. If it's only $90-something on the account, I had to tell her, then you're gonna draw $100, and it ain't there to withdraw, unless they trying to make it seem as if I was attempting to hold them up or something like that. which is why sometimes it's good to go places with people so somebody else can verify the story rather than them choir members. Sometimes the choirs get in there and they already have their song arranged to seem and act a certain way, talking real low, so you gotta lean real forward, so you maybe on camera might be looking as if you're getting kind of aggressive. Meanwhile, you only just trying to figure out what the hell you say. Speak up. Or as if they don't want what's been going on to be heard by who else. Maybe you're on, oh yeah, there was a system glitch or something like that. No, that system glitch was around regatta time when I went to Exuma and came back, and quote unquote everybody's account was showing negative, supposedly, around election time. A simple transaction mistake is easily corrected, and then trying to show me, oh, these transactions happen and stuff like that. I know these transactions happen because I bought some stuff, because I knew I had money to buy stuff. What I bought is always my business. Now, if I say there's something that I don't know about, then that's when you're all supposed to step in, like good bankers, and cancel the payment, withdraw the payment, stop the payment, call the whoever to find out what happened. But if it's systemically glitched and ain't nobody feel like doing anything, why y'all just don't stay home instead of going there and making people think y'all doing or able to do what y'all have people thinking y'all doing? And let people that actually want to do the right thing or can do the right thing or ain't been influenced by what's been making things go wrong do things. And everybody but them stay with the flock things. That's why I say it's better to feel like a shepherd. You try like flicking, like having to keep y'all lemons from running, jumping off the flicking cliff and stuff like that. But if we get there and y'all already jumping and the majority ain't jumping, we working on trying to keep them set from going over the cliff behind y'all into nothingness. No. I know if somebody tell you it's a soft landing in that bottomless pit, but if it's bottomless, you ain't gonna never stop falling. So you ain't trying to go in that black hole, that wormhole with y'all. But if that's God pulling us away from conventional banking to avoid that not drinkery that I hear that's supposed to be happening, but yeah, digital palms and heads and stuff like that for financial purposes. I like paper money. If we happen to be running out of trees, okay, switch to something else. Sand dollars. I couldn't tell you the last time I actually seen an actual sand dollar on the sand. Digital currency, as long as it ain't that bullshit, and you could actually assign something, say to a card or even to your phone, okay, no problem. If as long as it ain't that shit. You know what they talking about? That mark of the mark of the meta, mark of the beast. As long as it ain't that shit. Currency been around a real long time. Where it's been rocks to leaves to trees to property to deeds to whatever it is. God knows how it's gonna work out for those that don't do it, hard or not. That don't mean we supposed to stop giving a message. If you feel the opportunity arise to reach and teach. Remember, there is times to say no and to not do. Yes, it's time for everything. That's in there too. So you don't have to feel like you need to give to every single person that asks you for something. because things have been happening. You go ahead and you quote unquote feel you're doing the right thing. Somebody asks for something, oh, I need something to eat. They don't necessarily look like it, but you ain't judging like that. You just usually, a cheerful giver, big or small. Give somebody something one day, and what you ain't gonna expect sometimes is they be them nut drinkers. Take that, whatever it is, your fingerprints on, $5, $10, whatever you give them. Go around the store, do some, around the corner, do some heinous crime, and leave the only thing there with your fingerprints on it, a little bit of cash or whatever that you gave them on the crime scene while you were somewhere seen in the area. And guess what happens? Sometimes they go into obscurity, and sometimes them nut drinkers go into action as if they was just waiting on the moment to continue in the wrong direction, like God don't be watching. But still, now your fingerprints on a scene that you had nothing, no intentions of or about, but you've been seeing, talking to the person who did it, and your fingerprints on the flicking the money at the scene. Maybe y'all like explanations. I don't always like explanations like that, so get in the habit of feeling the right thing, the right time to do certain things. You don't have to give away everything to everybody. And sometimes you naturally just feel like not doing it, and those are probably the times to not do it. Probably the times. I wonder if I need to go sit out in the air dryer for a little bit just to quicken this process up. I was thinking about hitting up the driving range, but what's the point of hitting up the driving range if the tournament schedules aren't technically posted so you can see what you might want to maybe get in ahead of the time you are supposed to go ahead and check in. They full of secrets on there too. I missed plenty of tournaments I may have been able to get in just to get an official round score. I know you could get a 9-hole score at the driving range, but the distance ain't officially marked out, and I didn't have my little distance gadget at the time like seemingly everybody else had, so it didn't make any sense trying to go and try and focus on that. But that would have been planned for last weekend on the holiday. Go there and catch me a little round 9 holes. I think it's like $35 or something like that. I don't know if that's seasonal or what, but it's no more than $30 or $35 for 9 holes at the par 3 course range. Probably wouldn't gone out there and done that. My rich boy budget of so far $50 to $100 handouts. And to y'all folks who tried seemingly to have my name in the system logged as incapable of regular whatever handling my affairs, finances, attempting to act like I wasn't never worked for anything or wasn't worth giving what I'd work for because I wouldn't damage y'all. Or didn't damage y'all. Anyway, sometimes when you're an employee, you don't have to worry about certain things. I don't believe in employing or hiring daredevils, nut drinkers, as the employee, you do expect to get paid what you're told you're gonna get paid. And if you run a business, like how I had a business set up, knowingly had a business set up, through the help of God, because I wouldn't have had the opportunity to go and try and do something like that on my own if it didn't happen the way it had happened. But since it did, still waiting on y'all to hand over what y'all know y'all supposed to hand over. As far as I know, y'all technically didn't need the job I had arranged, I guess, to maybe help y'all out with or trust y'all with maybe helping me out with. But since that's who God put on my mind to suggest to do it, that's who I suggested. Now it is y'all don't seem to maybe have known that, or maybe was that my real learning process, that y'all just wasn't with the program, with the goodness like y'all have been trying to promote around me, or did they pull the plug on y'all too, so y'all needed to hold on and cling to what I had arranged for me, mainly for us, but mainly for me, so I'd have something I wouldn't need to be all over the place struggling to try and find something to do. I actually have something coming in pretty decent or otherwise. Since I heard it was really good, I'm still expecting to see some really good, like Leslie Miller. Oh, they're saying, there's $30 million unaccounted for that we don't know where it's from, or what it's for, who it's for, who it's sent to, it's been accruing for and from. This bomb is that big to where somebody could claim they can't find me, if that's what it is. Yeah, it's close to the sum, but that sum is from BTC people switching up my phone number and running the employment agency businesses and whatever else with people's phone numbers, specifically mine. Like I had an answering service. I didn't tell them set my phone to collect with selective call forwarding the moment I stopped working for somebody, some people. So whether that's what it was, which would have been about the total from that business end to now, or the one I had started from before it went up, which would actually be more than that by now. We're probably looking at close to 65 by now. Last calculation was only estimated to probably last year sometime. But over close to 20 years, if it was averaging about one, split in half technically, but it branched off into two, and close to 70 by now, just off of that. So that's looking at 100, just over in total, without the branch offs included. I ain't lost. Maybe if y'all falling in that hole and can't find your way back out because of not wanting to do the right thing, I know if my voice will echo that deep to where y'all going. But if y'all plainly see me walking around here, I know who I am, and that's all I'm saying, who is what helping to arrange to tell, like I say, they too like to arrange to tell Jones's stories. Was riding a nice car, now he's not riding a nice car. Meanwhile, the mechanics, them, like I said, if y'all know their street, seem to just forget how to fix cars that I drive. So you're catching the bus and walking around, sweaty from work, sweaty to work. As you know, there's you boy to sweat. Healthy people do that. So sweaty where you're going, sweaty where you're coming from. Ain't nobody, like I said, hip to telling you the secret to having a little wipe off and stuff like that. Because you don't want to seem robbable, carrying bags back and forth where you're going in the night. Bus stop running at a certain time, don't drop you all the way to where you're supposed to go sometimes. So you walk in through the neighborhood, you walk around looking for something, look at him. That's arranging to tell Jones the stories. When you're supposed to be able to afford to change cars at this point every day if you wanted to. Every week if you really needed to. Not saying fancy cars, but you're supposed to be walking around unless it's mainly for exercise. You know, I like to exercise, but I really don't feel the need like I need to be walking nowhere nearly as much as I do. So I ain't renewed my driver's license yet since March, because one, I never owned a vehicle in this country, and I ain't been working to see in the near future being able to get one. And I ain't gotten what I supposed to have gotten. But like I said, if the nut drinkers was the problem, maybe threatening whoever not to do the right things, the right stuff, I understand. I mean, I like it and agree with it. Don't tell the help that we need help. Wow, that's convenient for me actually not to help. Kind of makes it look like I was really part of the problem and not necessarily wanting to help, because probably was and not drinkers or associates, not drinkers. However, the cookie crumbles. It wasn't with me. Can't expect a light shredding I do. Meaning truth telling about situations and circumstances I experience. Anyways, I just need a bit more fresh out. I think it's probably time for a little shave. I don't know when I'm gonna post this, but whenever I get around the internet again. How is it when I actually have a little cash? The internet goes off, so you gotta go ahead and buy BTC top-up minutes, data minutes, for them to send to somebody else's, so your time runs out way faster than it's supposed to. Beautiful sky. Oh, I kind of maybe kicking that picture up. My grandparents used to have inside of their house from little boy. I wasn't tripping over the picture, white Jesus and stuff like that. Now that I'm, growing, saying, oh, people just like to have some kind of reason to feel divisive and stuff like that, saying color based. But the color, the picture was blue, like background blue. I mean, it's just like a overall general light blue picture, kind of like the same color as the sky, like pretty much baby blue kind of sky blue kind of color of the photo, whole photo. And my grandfather, he was one of them, you know what it is to be like a wise old man. He was a wise young man. Not God old, but wise or old man. Full of, little subliminal messages and little anecdotes, tuck away anecdotes and stuff like that come back and catch you a little bit later on and be like, oh, that's what it was. That's what he meant. That wise. Like God inspired, motivated kind of wise. Wise to like be around it. Jesus is the only way up. I don't know what it used to be like back in the days, but the only way up. Whatever color you feel he is. Only way up. So that means shedding the light from what's going on around you, aka getting rid of that dead weight. It's probably what you have to do. Expose the darkness. Help show the light, help shine the light. Yeah, I know. Pilot license loading. Slowly but loading. Anyway, crunch out.